Welcome back to BT. It is 7:17 on this Tuesday morning. Thanks for joining us. It still seems the election is the NDP's to lose, but we are seeing some shifting dynamics during the last few days of the campaign. Joining us now with more analysis this morning is Richard Johnston from UBC's Political Science Department. Good morning. Thanks for joining us once again.
Good morning.
So let's start off with new data from Angus Reid this morning. It finds while the NDP still holds a comfortable lead, they have lost a few points to both the BC Liberals and the Greens. So what do you think the Liberals and the Greens need to do to gain some ground at this point?
I don't think there's any magic formula for either of them. The Liberals particularly seem to be on the back foot, driven by internal divisions for one thing. I think in the case of the Greens, at least they have a geographic base to work outwards from. And I think that probably First National basically has to keep emphasizing what she has, which is that she's not going to be Premier of the province, but she is the vehicle by which you try to limit the damage, to try and create the possibility of still a minority government.
And she has made a positive impression on a lot of people in just these few short weeks. 4 days to go until Election Day, down to the wire now, Richard. So what has surprised you the most in this campaign?
Well, what surprised me to this point was that little had changed. Usually in these kinds of situations where governments take advantage of what they see as favorable circumstances, they lose ground. Well, they haven't been losing ground, at least until now. So in some sense, what's happening now is less surprising than how long it took to start happening.
Yes, and I wanted to talk to you about what's going to happen on Saturday night. So we know that a lot of British Columbians have registered for mail-in ballots. The election is going to look very different this year. And we usually hear who the next premier is going to be on election night. But with so many people voting by mail, do you think that broadcasters might be reluctant to make the call or any early predictions on Saturday?
I think they'll be hesitant going in. Whether they make a call depends on whether the lead or some semblance of the lead that the NDP currently has holds. I mean, if it's indeed a decisive victory in the making, even if not on the day, then I think in most ridings around the province, it'll be pretty clear who's going to win. It'll come down to 10 or so seats that might be close enough that one should be hesitant about giving it a call. But at the end of the day, we have a premier. He will probably be the premier on the day after Election Day, and then at the end of the day, the question will be, how comfortable will his majority be?
Right. Wanted to talk to you a little bit more specifically about the ridings. Which ridings do you think would be a shoo-in on Saturday night?
Well, most ridings will be a shoo-in. It's a geographically differentiated electorate, right? But the ridings that are going to be interesting to talk about, I'm guessing, will be the ones that seemed interesting all along. You have 20 ridings decided by 10 percentage points or less last time. Of those, 16 of the 20 are in the Lower Mainland, and most of them are either east of Vancouver or south of the Fraser River. So I think we're basically going to be talking about what the leaders' own itineraries tell us are the battleground. Basically, Surrey, North Delta, and the east side of Metro Vancouver, north of the Fraser.
All right, we'll leave it there, Richard. Thanks again for joining us throughout these last few weeks, and hopefully we'll talk to you again probably next week after the election night this Saturday.
Sure enough. Bye-bye.
All right, that is Richard Johnston from UBC's Political Science Department. We're going to take a